Action.
You're an amazing person, Ellie. I couldn't ask for a more incredible daughter.
Are you actually trying to parent me right now?
Who would want me to be a part of their life?
Can we take a moment to appreciate Brendan Fraser? His career began with a breakthrough performance in the 1992 comedy Encino Man, which can be considered a pop cultural artifact of the era because it featured this guy.
Bro, we figure we's a little juice.
Yes, Pauly Shore is actually a thing that happened in the 90s, and to be honest, it doesn't really make any more sense now than it did back then.
Figures hot on the outside, icicle in the middle.
Encino Man also starred Sean Astin, who was a real cutie in the 90s before everyone realised he was actually a
stupid fat hobbit.
But the real star of that film was Brendan Fraser, who was awesome playing a defrosted caveman who couldn't get enough wheezing the juice.
Chill, bud. No.
Fraser parlayed the success of that movie into a series of leading roles in the 90s and noughties in films such as George of the Jungle, Bedazzled, and the Mummy trilogy. So you probably wouldn't mistake any of those for Citizen Kane, but would Dwayne Johnson be the star he is today if Fraser's mega successful Mummy franchise didn't cast the former wrestler as the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns? Also, just want to give a quick shout out to the people who did the Scorpion King CGI on that movie because it's... For a variety of reasons that I won't go into here, Fraser's career trajectory took a downturn over the past decade. But it reached an artistic apex in January when the 54-year-old received a Maiden Academy Award nomination for Best Actor for his stunning turn in The Whale. Directed by Darren Aronofsky, who of course is the bloke behind darkly psychological dramas such as Black Swan and Mother, The Whale taps into many of the same elements as it tells the story of Fraser's character Charlie, a reclusive and morbidly obese teacher. Struggling to deal with personal trauma, the housebound Charlie has essentially decided to eat himself to death, despite the best efforts of his BFF Liz, played by the awesome Hong Chau, who, BTW, is also up for an Oscar.
You haven't seen her since she was 8 years old and you're gonna reconnect with her?
Sorry.
I don't like this. This isn't a good idea.
I'm sorry.
You say you're sorry one more time, I will shove a knife right into you, I swear to God.
Go ahead. What's it gonna do? My internal organs are 2 feet in at least.
Liz is a nurse, but it's her companionship and not her medical ability that really helps Charlie as he contemplates what to do with his final days among the living. At the top of his to-do list is reconnecting with his estranged daughter Ellie, who's played by Stranger Things star Sadie Sink.
You don't stay in touch with Mom?
She really only tells me things about you.
Why?
Because that's all I want to know about.
Now, The Whale is far from easy to watch, which kind of goes with the territory for an Aronofsky film, and it's reasonable to ask if the director's penchant for body horror makes it harder for the audience to feel empathy for Charlie. Based on the play of the same name by Samuel D. Hunter, Aronofsky's film is also at times a little too stagey, which pulls you out of the reality of the drama. So, as a piece of cinema, it's maybe not as successful as it might have been, which is probably why it didn't get an Oscar nomination for Best Director or Best Film. But it's impossible to turn away from Brendan Fraser, who was wearing up to 130 kilos of prosthetics to play the 270-kilo Charlie. But even with this extreme transformation, the biggest change Fraser underwent in The Whale is transitioning from being a Hollywood afterthought to an actor who will be very much in demand in years to come. The Whale gets 3.5 stars.
I need to know that she's gonna have a decent life where she cares about people and that she's gonna be okay. I need to know that I have done one thing right with my life.